Look around you. In the heart of London, New York, Toronto, and Tokyo, the streets are overflowing. The skyscrapers are packed to capacity. The subways are bursting at the seams, and digital notifications fill the air every single millisecond as we live in the most technologically hyper-connected era in the history of human civilization, where we can speak to someone across the globe in a fraction of a second and broadcast our lives to thousands of strangers with a single tap on a screen. Yet beneath this superficial layer of digital connectivity lies a dark, crushing, and silent reality where we are living in the most humanly isolated era our world has ever witnessed, diagnosed as a global crisis called the loneliness epidemic, where statistics show that over 40% of adults in major Western metropolitan areas regularly experience a profound sense of isolation, emptiness, and social abandonment. Returning to empty apartments every night, eating meals in front of glowing monitors, and sleeping in cities filled with millions of neighbors without knowing a single one of their names. You are surrounded by people, but you are utterly unseen, connected to the network but completely disconnected from humanity, feeling a persistent, hollow weight in your chest that you try to numb with endless scrolling, streaming, and passive consumption. And if you are a Muslim navigating this cold, individualistic urban landscape, this isolation feels even more jarring because your soul intuitively knows that something is deeply broken about this lifestyle. Rejecting this unnatural way of existing and searching for an entirely different social architecture designed not for economic utility but for spiritual survival, built by the creator of the universe. The secular system offers you artificial band-aids to heal a mortal wound, telling you to join another social media platform, to download an app to swipe for companionship, to go out to clubs and crowded bars, or to lose yourself in consumerism and hedonistic distractions. But when the music stops, the battery dies, or you close the app, the void returns even larger than before because these secular solutions are fundamentally transactional and superficial, treating companionship as a commodity to be consumed and leaving your inner self completely starved of genuine human warmth under a model of hyper-individualism that teaches you your primary duty is to yourself, your career, and your personal independence, encouraging you to view other people as competition or as stepping stones. Now look at the profound, beautiful paradox of Islam, which does not tell you to escape society and become a secluded monk to find God, nor allows you to abandon humanity, but instead forces a radical, daily structural integration that completely shatters the illusion of secular isolation by prescribing as an absolute daily obligation the concept of Salah al-Jama'ah, congregational prayer, forcing you 5 times a day to tear yourself away from your laptop, your corporate desk, and your solitary bubble to walk into a shared, sacred space called the masjid. When you step onto that carpet, the artificial hierarchies of the capitalist world instantly vaporize as the CEO stands shoulder to shoulder with the janitor. The wealthy entrepreneur stands chest to chest with the struggling student, and the immigrant stands heel to heel with the local convert, forcing a physical, daily, egalitarian human alignment where your physical reality is anchored in a community of believers, reminding you through the warmth of the person standing next to you that you are not an isolated island, but part of a living, breathing body. To truly comprehend how deep this remedy runs, we must look at the historical foundation of the first Islamic society when the early Muslims fled persecution in Mecca and arrived in the city of Medina during the Hijrah, experiencing complete financial and social displacement as refugees who had lost their homes, wealth, clans, and support networks, facing the ultimate trauma of total isolation in an unfamiliar territory. But the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, solved this massive crisis not by building refugee camps or setting up bureaucratic government programs, but by instituting a revolutionary social miracle known as al-Mu'akhat, the system of divine brotherhood, pairing every single displaced migrant from Mecca with a local resident of Medina and telling them to become brothers in Allah, 2 by 2. This was an absolute, legally binding social architecture of love, where the Ansar opened their homes, split their properties, shared their food, and treated these complete strangers as closer than their own blood relatives, capturing an immortal standard of selflessness where relationships are built on the concept of al-walaya, mutual spiritual guardianship, love, and psychological custody for the sake of the divine, rather than the fragile foundation of mutual interest. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described this interconnectedness by stating that the parable of the believers in their affection, mercy, and compassion for each other is that of a single body where when any limb aches, the whole body reacts with sleeplessness and fever, creating a protective web of human hearts that ensures no soul is ever left to drown in silence. And even in those late nights in your studio apartment, when the silence of the room is deafening and the weight of the world feels heavy upon your chest, Islam performs its greatest spiritual alchemy by taking the agonizing experience of secular loneliness and transforming it into the majestic, peaceful, and sublime state of sacred solitude known as al-Khulwah. To the materialistic mind, being alone in a room is a negative space and a terrifying void that must be filled with noise. But to the heart of a believer, being alone is a profound, exclusive presence where the creator of your soul is closer to you than your own jugular vein. Knowing the unspoken thoughts bouncing inside your mind and hearing the quiet thumping of your heart in the dark, a secret the righteous predecessors understood completely as they hungered for it. Noting that when they wanted Allah to speak to them, they read the Quran, and when they wanted to speak directly to Allah, they entered into the Salah. Your isolation is no longer a prison sentence imposed upon you by a cold society, but a private audience with the King of Kings, where when the world shuts its doors, the gates of the heavens swing wide open for you to spread your prayer mat, raise your hands in the darkness, pour out your tears, and speak to the one who controls the destiny of every empire without needing to perform, edit your life for an algorithm, or hide your scars. Let this realization sink deep into your consciousness and melt away the cold anxiety of isolation, so that the next time you walk through the crowded streets or sit on a packed subway train, you do not let the illusion of coldness penetrate your soul. Remembering that you are a believer who carries the light of faith inside your chest, never abandoned, never forgotten, and never truly alone, as you belong to a spiritual lineage that spans 14 centuries and encompasses over 2 billion hearts, turning their faces toward the exact same house in Mecca, whispering the exact same prayers and feeling the exact same longing for connection. You are part of an eternal, celestial family that transcends race, language, border, and time. So see that silence not as a curse, but as a direct invitation from your Lord to close your laptop, put away your phone, spread your prayer mat in the quiet safety of your room, and connect with the source of all love, all peace, and all belonging before walking to the nearest masjid to greet the believers with a smile of peace, knowing that your soul is anchored in something eternal, completely safe, seen, and forever held in the gentle, infinite care of the Lord of the worlds.